This is set number 38441, K'NEX Minifigures Mario Kart Wii series. This is the first series of K'NEX figures. They still have the mystery packs available in locations I've found. It's still available in Kmart, I believe, and in Learning Express. These retail for about $5, have been released in 2013. More on the early side, so I don't know if you can still find them. Ages 6 and up, and there are 7 different minifigures to collect. So today, we have Bowser, the big baddie of the Mario series. We'll take a look around on him. Lots of great details on him, lots of texture. So if you want to find him, probably one of the better parts to find is his legs, and I'll explain more about that in the later parts of the video. In the package, you do get a whole bunch of these little pieces. I don't really know what to call them, probably just tissue paper. They wrap around 2 pieces for each part of the figures, so it makes it a little bit harder to find when you're feeling the packages, but you can still make out some of the parts. Here's a look at the now ripped package itself. Bowser is shown on here. All the figures are shown on here. And it only tells you it's one figure in here. Very basic. You do get a little instruction booklet that shows you how to set him up. And normally I disregard these because it's pretty easy. But this one, it took a little bit of work because the shell takes a little bit to build. The tail, you know, just figuring out how it all goes together the right way. And that's pretty basic. So, you can take off the shell, of course, like I said. It comes in different parts. So here are the parts for them. So it's not one piece, it's actually made up of 2 pieces. And you stick together with 2 little pegs. So you can have the shell by itself running around like this. Sometimes Bowser works like that. Here's the back of him without the shell on. And here's how it looks without the tail. So the tail just slides right in there very easily. Then you have this part attaches onto his back to make the shell. Great printing on him, great mold ideas from this figure. He's good enough that he could, you know, a little bit of walking, a little bit of almost sitting, but not exactly sitting. It's probably the best that I could get for him sitting. As far as the legs moving forward and the tail being there, you know, that's him sitting. Or if you have him in the Mario Kart series, like in actual carts, you could take off the bottom. And I think you also take this off too. And you have him driving around in the cart like this. That's part of the reason why the shell is coming off in 2 pieces. And it's almost lined up here. I'll just put that back on. And his face is amazing. I really like how they did his face. It captures the absolute perfect detail with him. Now here I have Bowser and a whole bunch of other Mario figures to compare their height and width, just to show you, you know, how they've been up for a while. A lot of them are in the series, and there are also a lot of them in the Mario Kart sets. So if you want to find them that way, it makes it easier. There's a lot of the more basic figures. I didn't include Koopas or Wario or anything like that. But this gives you a relative idea how tall Bowser is and how big he is compared to others. So he is, it looks like the tallest figure in this bunch is Luigi, surprisingly. I think it has mainly to do with his head and his legs, because they're very lanky and long. Compared to Mario, it is appropriately sized. With all the figures compared to each other, I guess it's kind of appropriate. I thought Bowser would be, you know, a little bit bigger than some of these other figures, even bigger than Luigi. And in some games he is, some games he's not, you know. So in the games it's hard to tell his size comparison, but I still like the size for him. He's a little bit bigger than Donkey Kong, which would help you find him and not confuse him in the mystery packs. He also has different feet texture than Donkey Kong, if you take a look closely. So you can feel a lot more of the spiky toes than the rounded toes for Donkey Kong, you know. That way you don't get the two confused. And also, you know, that's probably one of the more easier ways to tell is by the legs, because Bowser's have the most widespread legs, even compared to Yoshi. They, these are probably the 3 figures that have the most widespread legs, but Bowser's are spread the most because he's a larger figure. So, what do I think? I really like him. I haven't really disliked any of the K'NEX Mario Kart figures, and that's not even because of a bias for, because I like Mario in general. It's actually helped me to understand it better because K'NEX really nails down the texture and details and colors of all these figures. One thing I note about Bowser, though, when I did the haul for him, it made him look like his eyes were asleep, because his eyes were more upward if you look at him head on. But now I'm looking at him and he's a little bit above me, or a little bit below me. It's like he's looking up at me. So I kind of like that look to him, and there's no real problem with those details. Still works out very well. There's nothing really else I can dislike about him. I like how the shell comes off, because even though it's in 2 pieces, it's still usable as one shell. And it comes off and puts on in a very easy way, so not too hard to figure out. Granted, yes, he won't have a big range of motion, but it's still enough to get the details for him. And I think that's the one thing people want most, is to have him for collective purposes. Maybe for stop motion, maybe for other things. You kind of get that effect too. So I do really like this figure. Very good for posability. You could have like a Mario Party in K'NEX form. And the one thing that's nice about it, you don't even think of them as being K'NEX figures until you see the packaging. Because when you look at them all together, they look exactly like as you would expect them to look, just like in the games. And, relatively authentic, I guess the right word for it would be. So thanks for watching this video, hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time with more K'NEX set reviews. You come with me, princess! Oh, over here.